In this quick tip, we'll take a look at transparency masks in ProShow Producer. In Producer, you can use transparency mask layers to creatively control the visibility of images and videos in your slides. You can think of a transparency mask as being similar to using a stencil or painter's tape. When painting, we use these items to make shapes that will show or hide what's underneath. Any image can be used as a transparency mask, and unlike grayscale masks that rely on light versus dark colors, the only things that matter when using transparency masks are the size, shape, and location of the masking layer. Let's take a look at what we mean by that in ProShow. Here we have a layer that we'll use as a transparency mask. Notice that it's smaller than our featured image. When we attach the layer to the featured image as a mask, all ProShow sees is a rectangle that's this big in this location. When the mask is activated, ProShow will only reveal the part of the featured image that's covered by the mask. Everything outside the mask will be hidden, like this. We can also do the opposite. We can invert the transparency mask to conceal everything covered by the mask, making everything outside of the mask visible like this. Let's take a look at a couple of examples of how transparency masks can be used. In this first example, when we preview the slide, we see our featured image zoom in and fit perfectly within this overlay. The reason it fits so well is because we're using a transparency mask to confine the image to only being visible here within this area. To follow along, I'm using an overlay from the Scrapbook Creative Kit, which you can install free by going to Tools and Download Effects and Content. Once installed, you'll find this image in the folder list, clicking Media Source, ProShow 9 Built-in Content, and Overlays. Back in Slide Options, I have my overlay, and I've added my featured image to this slide. Now right away, we can see that Layer 2 just about fills the slide frame. Now we could try to crop the image or resize it and make it fit, but as you can see, this doesn't quite line up with the shape of the overlay. Plus, if we were to add motion, the featured image would quickly spill out from underneath. So let's add a transparency mask to help make this featured image fit correctly. In the Layers list, click the Add icon and choose Solid Color. For transparency mask, it doesn't matter what color I choose, I just need to have a shape. So I'll use something really obvious like red to remind me that this is a masking layer. To fit the opening in the overlay, it looks like a square will work best, so I'll set the resolution to 800 by 800. Now in the Layers list, let's make sure the solid color layer is in the Layer 2 spot. Now, in the preview, I'm going to resize, rotate, and position the layer to make it fit within the white border of my overlay. Then, let's turn on the mask option and select Transparency. In the preview, you'll notice that my bright red layer is now more of a semi-transparent box. This shows me that this is now the only area on the slide where we'll be able to see any layers attached to the mask. If we click Layer 3, you'll see that in action. Even if I move Layer 3 around, we'll only see the part of this image that fits within the size, shape, and location of the transparency mask. Now we can feel free to add some motion to Layer 3 and not worry about whether or not the featured image will fit. Let's look at another common use for a transparency mask. Here we see the word candy, and the letters are all filled with candy. Let's open up Slide Options to see how this effect is made. In the Layers list, we can see that Layer 2 is a photo, and Layer 1 is a transparency mask featuring the word candy. In this case, the letters define the shape, size, and location of the transparency mask. Now to make this effect, you can either use Photoshop to make an image with a transparent background that says candy, Or you can use ProShow's built-in tools, which actually give you a lot more creative power. First, I'll start with my picture of candy. Next, I'll go to the captions list and click the add icon. In the caption text box, I'll type candy. Then in the caption format area, I'll choose a large font like Impact, and then a large font size. Now remember, as a transparency mask, the color of the text doesn't matter. So once again, I'll pick red just to make it very obvious that this is a mask. At this point, we have a caption. However, captions can't be used as masks. So we'll have to convert this to a text layer, which we can do by either clicking this tools icon or by right-clicking on the caption and selecting Convert to Layer. This will move the caption down to the Layers list. From here, we'll click the Layer Settings tab, then check the Mask option and select Transparency. As mentioned, using ProShow to make this layer gives us a lot more creative options for this mask. For example, we can use the text settings to change the text, or adjust the skew, rotate, and spacing options. Now we can add some motion, or click the Filters tab and combine caption motion filters and motion filters to quickly create some very interesting effects. Now, regardless of the effects we choose, or the text we add, wherever the transparency mask appears on the slide, that's where the underlying layer will be visible. Thanks for watching. Be sure to visit our blog, like us on Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for even more helpful tips.